I'm a little nervous because I'm headed to an Israel rally and there are a lot of cops. A lot of cops, so hopefully I don't get hurt, but yeah. Another Dia Latina vlog. So, this is Melbourne, where I live, and this is outside the State Library of Victoria on Swanston Street, where a protest of Palestine was being held. I had entered another world and it was not a place I knew or felt safe. The footpath had stalls of people handing out their socialist propaganda. I was uneasy at this large crowd that tried to convince passers-by of their misguided stance regarding the evils of Israel and the oppression of the Palestinian people. They tried to convince us that we needed to bring them home. Australia is not their home. This is not the same argument as the white South African farmers that are being slaughtered for their skin colour. They are tied to their land, and Australia is just a second best option. The protesting style here, in front of the library, is also extremely different. When it's Conservatives doing it, it is done respectfully, patriotically, and politely. These guys are being aggressive and hostile. They have every right to protest. But let's face it, their style is completely different, completely hostile, and they are trying to infiltrate our land with their ideology.
It's a human right for refugees to return to their homes.
They blasted their music for everyone to hear. Now, this is not a problem at all. In fact, some of their music is quite pretty, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a prime example of their utter disrespect for the Aussie way. They have absolutely failed to realise that the country they are in is affording them the opportunity to protest. Democracy and capitalism are the systems in place for them to do exactly what it is they're doing, and being disrespectful and being unpatriotic.
It's very different Melbourne I'm looking at. It's very chaotic here. Very chaotic.
Free Palestine! Demand a free...
This guy just shouted an unnecessary racial slur to be noticed and heard. Not the way, dude. We can't use the same tactics they use. We need to be effective without being a-holes.
And their right to return. They have been met with cold-blooded, premeditated massacre.
Pay attention to what the speaker is saying, but bear in mind that whilst it is true that Palestinians are being killed, it is a misleading comment as there is death on both sides. However, Israel, while it is flawed, is known for texting citizens ahead of time, giving ample warning before they drop bombs on the other side, a courtesy not extended by their Arab neighbours. Over here we have a sideshow as this guy is getting challenged. He is much too angry and does not appear reasonable, but he has a reason to be angry. None of us like this new changing face of Australia. It scares us. Check out this ray of sunshine. Check out this brave young kid. Honestly, I was too afraid to be noticed. This kid is bright, on it, and not shouting disparaging comments at them as a people, but more so outing what the group is as a whole. This takes endless loads of courage. This kid is exactly what the future of Australia and the Western world needs.
This is a terrorist state. This is a terrorist organization.
Thank you, everyone. Please come around. Let us show them our numbers and our voices combined together. Before we start, everyone.
Free Palestine.
The protests that are happening here in Melbourne.
Hi everybody, my name is Kimberly Moore. As May said, I'm a Murray activist. I'm from North Queensland. I want to start off by giving an acknowledgement. Can you hear me? Acknowledgement of country. We're meeting today on stolen land. This is the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. So I want to acknowledge not only was this land never ceded, I also want to acknowledge past elders and elders who are present today, as well as any other Indigenous people who are with us today. Australia, like Israel, is a settler colonial state.
This woman, Kimberly Myers, has no idea. Islam is a religion of conquest. Australians do recognise that they have stolen land away from the indigenous people. This isn't even denied. Does this woman realise that Israeli people are the ones who have thousands of years of connection to the land? Her parallels that she's making should be with the Jews, not with the Palestinians who are pretty much former Jordanians. Also note the fact that the crowd seemed disinterested in the speeches, and note the drama happening below.
Does you ask if he knows me?
This little bitch lets the cops know that the man we were discussing earlier said some offensive things, and so, you know, the cops have to plead with the man to leave the vicinity to make, you know, the little bitch a little bit more happy.
Of Israel, bloody genocide. Previously, in the last 2 days, Israel is shooting indiscriminately. They are shooting to kill. We know that the protests are not even inside the buffer zone. They're a kilometre from the proposed border that Israel has used to put Gaza as an open-air prison. So Palestinians are protesting peacefully. They oppose absolutely no threat.
So you want me to move to the sidewalk?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, we'll do it just
but
here.
Israel is still mass murdering and killing people. And we raise our voices.
The so-called Arabs and Muslims, they're not Arabs nor Muslims. They're pieces of crap.
They just called Israelis pieces of crap. That lady was in an Yemini video.
Why are you hanging out with the Nazi mate over there?
We're just not doing that at the moment. We're keeping our Nazi down. Today I got my kipper on, so I'm going to be less Nazi.
This kid is another ray of hope for the world as he respectfully tries to red pill this fellow who is quite arrogant but surprisingly calm. I will probably upload this entire exchange as a separate video.
Because you can see internal Israeli assessments.
They were about to take it.
Right, if you don't believe me, read Israeli intelligence. It's said.
Have you heard? Did you hear Nat speak? Did you hear him speak?
I've read look at internal Israeli assessments. They said Israel has been aggressive repeatedly.
All the Arab states were preparing to annihilate Israel. You understand?
I'm headed to Yemini.
Or you're for Islamic terror. And in Australia, we are against Islamic terror. Thank you all for coming. Come on, join in, anyone that wants to. We've got plenty of flags, plenty of signs. There is a lot to say about Hamas. If we want to stop terrorism, you need to support Israel. You know, a lot of people think we come to an event like this. Avi, what does Israel have to do with us? What does the war in Gaza have to do with Australia? Well, I'll tell you a couple of things it has to do with us. One, Israel has been on the forefront of the same fight we are in now for 70 years already. We need allies. We need to learn from those that have been fighting this fight for years. Secondly, and more scary, is that when you see that people who claim to be Australian, people who declare they're Australian, covered up in a hijabi or whatever, and come out by the hundreds, I think they have there, in support of Islamic terror, it is our problem. You cannot sit by. You cannot sit by, because otherwise we will end up like Europe.
Okay, so I saw you earlier. What were you saying that got you kicked out of in front of the library?
I was saying Palestine is a terrorist state and that they are supporting terrorists.
And how did you have the nerve to say that in a group of very anti-Israel people?
Honestly, I just have to do it, really. There's nothing to lose. If I get hurt, then it was for a good cause.
Yeah, was your heart pumping?
Yeah,
you admit that? Yeah, okay.
Tad bit scary.
Well, you're here now on the right side. Alright, thanks for talking to me.
In 2005, when I was in the Israeli Defense Forces, Israel withdrew from Gaza in the hope of peace. At the time, I thought it was a stupid move. I thought this is not going to bring anything, and I have been proven right. But unfortunately, sometimes in politics people think appeasing works. It doesn't. Appeasing won't work in Israel, not in Gaza, and not in Melbourne, Australia. And it's time for our government to take a strong stand against anyone who supports any Islamic terror organisation.
There's a real division with the sides. Check it out. Pro-Islam, wall of cops, pro-Israel.
This is going to grow, and it's not going just to be about supporting Hamas in Gaza. It's going to be about supporting Hamas in St Kilda, Hamas in Werribee, Hamas in Melbourne, in Sydney, in Geelong, in Canberra, everywhere. We need to get on top of this now. This is our country. If you come to Australia, from any country in the world, and you support an Islamic terror organisation anywhere in the world, you should be sent straight back to the shithole you came from. Go straight in the face, and you see Robert Martin there. Brave Robert Martin, who stood up and bullied 15-year-old kids, Israeli kids. He's a brave man who can beat up a little Jewish child. Those is Islamic terrorists and leftists who are uniting. The funny thing is the leftists amongst them don't realise that they are the first to be one of the body. Look, here come Robert.
Only children, Robert!
Guys, get a good look at this. Look at the appeasers. The appeasers here. Robert Martin here. You can find a good video of him online beating up a 13-year-old child.
What kind of an argument is that?
You see that? The left is standing with homophobes.
It's here right in front of my face.
God bless the IDF for winning us on these.
Oh my God.
These Islamic terrorists that are never welcome in our great country. All of you that stand with Islamists should go back home. We don't want you in Melbourne, you and your kafir.
Cops.
A generalisation against Islamists. I think Islamists. I think good on the IDF for what getting. It's not welcome in our country. If you love Islamic terror that much, why don't you go back? We will never have Sharia here. We will never ever welcome Islamic terror to our shores.
Share our dreams and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian.